यशोदा हरि को जगावे, जागो उठो मोहन नींद खोलो, गाए रभाती तुमको पुकारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। देहांत काले तुम सामने हो, मुरली बजाते मन को लुभाते। देहांत काले तुम सामने हो, मुरली बजाते मन को लुभाते। यही गीत गाते मैं निज प्राण त्यागो, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनंदनाय च, हरये परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय, गोविंदाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Pray to Lord Krishna to show her mercy. The departure soul she is a long journey. She has a long journey throughout the heavenly planets, and take her back to Golok Ram Vrindavan. Lord Krishna's quote. Om Bhagwan meri naiya उस पार लगा देना, अब तक तो निभाया है, आगे भी निभा लेना। संभव है झंझटों में मैं तुमको भूल जाऊं, पर ना तक ही तुम भी मुझको न भुला देना। दल बल के साथ माया घेरे मुझको आकर, तब देखते ना रहना, झट आके छुड़ा देना। तुम इष्ट में उपासक, तुम पूज में पुजारी, यदि सच है तो स्वामी, सच करके दिखा देना। भगवान मेरी नैया उस पार लगा देना, अब तक तो निभाया है, आगे भी निभा देना। श्री गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेव महेश्वर, गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। गजानन भूत गणादि सेवितं कपीतजाम्बूफलचारुभक्षणं, उमासुतं शोक विनाशकारकं, नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पाद पंकजम्। लंबोदर नमस्तुभ्यं सततं मोदकप्रियः, निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु sarvada. Vasudeva sutam devam kamsachanuramardanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadgurum mukham karoti vachalam pangu langayate girim yatkripatamaham vande paramanandamaadavam Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namah Apadamapaharitaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokaviramam Sriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Om Priyambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Pratyurmukhtiyamamrata Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swaha Namostute Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swaha Namostute Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayane Namostute Om Shantakaram Bhujagasayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrasham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalanayanam Yogibhirdhanagamyam Vande Vishnu Bhavavayaharanam Sarvalokaikanaatham. After all of you each done, then I can do the Shanti Pata. Now a few words from the Bhagavad Gita again.
One of the earliest memories of my mom I have is when we were traveling by car from Regina to Saskatoon, and I always remember Mom had a flask with coffee ready for Dad and sandwiches ready for me and my brother. And I remember how she told us, you know, when she was 21, she had gotten married to Dad, and she got on a plane and flew from India to all the way to Canada, and she arrived in Winnipeg, and she met with some of Dad's friends, and they, you know, took her home for the night. And the next day, they made her breakfast, and they made her pancakes. And she, I remember her saying, she's just looking at the pancakes and wondering, what are these? This is food. And then she said when she first watched football, she was always curious, what are these guys doing, just piling on top of each other from one plate to the next. So when I think about Mom, I think about the friendships she had, and how she was invested in her friendships, and she nurtured her family and looked after her children. And I think the friendships will last, and I think about how that's, you know, I learned from my mom how to, love and support family and live with a little humor. And I'll remember that in the friendships. And we went on lots of adventures when we were young. And Mom and I, when I was, just for the last few years, were doing our armchair traveling and having some adventures here in Edmonton. And I guess recently we went all the way to Sedona, so Mom was always curious about new things and going on new adventures. So she'd read about the electromagnetic field in Sedona, so off we went to go and have that adventure, and it was a great adventure. And it was very sudden when she left us, but she was always in our hearts, and she's always watching over us. Thanks.
It's been very difficult couple of weeks and very sudden. So even though it's very sad, every time I think of my mom and our family, I have only good memories. Everything that my mom did and my dad and we did together, all positive. I think of my mom, and she was always very supportive of everything that we did. I can't think of her ever criticizing or saying anything negative. She was always very supportive. Whatever we did, she was always on our side. I can't remember ever getting upset about anything. So when we were young, we had, I think, normal childhood. Years back, I look back on it. She was always there for us, did everything. Didn't realize at the time, but she always obviously put our interests first, and was never worried about herself. Always very loving, always very caring. Even when I went away to school, I was in college, and we were 3 hours away by plane, and a home-cooked meal would show up in the delivery, so she'd cook and send it over to us. So I guess some Indian food travels fairly well, so she was able to get it out to us. I got home-cooked meals even then, so she was always putting us first. But she was still very determined, and if she wanted to do something, I think she was always put her mind to it. One of my favorite stories is she told us she was about 20, I was 21, so my daughter's age. Her mom came over and she said, we've met a family, and we want you to meet this gentleman that we'd like you to marry. We've arranged for you to meet the family. My mom goes, who? She heard the name, she goes, thought to herself, she goes, yeah, I don't think so. So she goes up to a room and she said, didn't make a scene, just went to a room, locked the door, and stayed there. Family comes over, gentleman comes in, she refused to go down. She goes, I'm just not the person for me, I'm not marrying this person. So, next day, time goes by, her mom comes up, goes, we have someone we'd like you to meet. She goes, no. So she goes back to her room, stays in her room, doesn't come down. So, the third time, mom comes back, says, we have someone we'd like you to meet. She goes, who is it? Okay, that's good. So that turned out to be our dad. So third time, so we're all grateful that she made those good decisions back then. Don't know who they were, but she was determined. If something was important, she was certainly determined that she was going to, quiet determination and make the right decision. So she certainly was not a loud person. She didn't need to be loud. She's very quiet, but I call her quietly determined. So I see that sometimes in my children. They're a bit louder than my mom, but they're also that same quiet determination I think that she had. And she really never asked anything of it. I can't remember ever saying anything negative or even asking anything of us. The only things that she wanted to do was, she said she always wanted to give us a blessing. So we do little small prayers or pujas at home, and then as we left, went to college and went away, we'd come home, and she just asked that we spend 3 or 4 minutes, and she would give us a little blessing. And we always did that as we got older, in our 20s and our 30s. And as we were older and the kids were born, she would come back and wanted to do a little blessing for them as well. And in the latter part, she was a little older in age. She would just do it over the phone. So she was always giving us a nice blessing at the end. So that was really, she was always concerned, always caring, always wanted to give us a blessing and wish as well. And then in all of our communication, all of our birthday cards, anniversary cards, she was a little blessing as well. So she was always wishing us well, and always making sure that everything was good and that we were taken care of. So, very loving individual, very difficult to accept how, I guess, things ended, but we want to really celebrate what she was able to accomplish, what she gave us, and really our wish and our hope that we're able to carry forward with what she had done. And certainly she spent so much time with our father, and it was a tremendous amount of effort and caring for him, especially in the last few years. So we only hope that we're able to carry forward what she has given us, and be proud of what she has given us, and remember her fondly, as we will over these next several years.
Sanskrit language. Translation, would you like to read?
Sure.
Yeah, come. Bhagavan Vachaha Idam tu te guhyatamam pratakshaavagamam chaham pravakshama suyate jnana vijnana sagitam yadagyatva mokshase shubhat.
The Supreme Personality of God had said, "My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence."
Raja vidya raja goyam pavitramidam uttamam chaha pratakshaavagamam dharmam susukham kartum avyayam.
This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting, and it is joyfully performed.
Asraddhana purusha dharmasya parantapa aprapyamam nivratante pratisamsara sagarat pratisamsara vatmani.
Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies. Therefore they return to the path of birth and death in this material world.
Tachamatastani bhutani pashyami yogameshwaram bhutavranaccha bhutasto mamatma bhutabhavanaham.
By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them.
Yatha akasha sthito nityam vayu sarvatra go mahan तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि पश्यमे तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मतस्थानि नित्योपधारय.
And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation.
Sarvabhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshaye punasthani kalpado visrajameham.
Understand that as the mighty wind, blowing everywhere, rests always in the sky, all creating beings rest in me.
Sarvabhutani kaunteya prakriti yanti mamikam kalpakshaye punasthani kalpado visrajameham.
O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again.
Prakritim swamashtabhya visrajami punah punah bhutagrami mimam kritasnamosham prakriti vashat.
The whole cosmic order is under me, under my will. It is automatically manifested again and again, and under my will, it is annihilated at the end.
Nachamam tani karmani nibagnanti dhananjaya dasina vadasina masaktam sateshu karmasu.
O Danyaya, Danyanjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral.
Maya dakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagadvi parivartate.
This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings, under its rule this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again.
Avajananti mama mudha manasi tanumasritam param bhavamadhananto mama bhuta maheshwaram.
Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that be.
Mogasha moga karmano moga jnana vichetasaha rakshasima sarim saiva prakritim mohini tritam.
Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demonic and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated.
Mahatmanastamam partha daivi prakriti asrita bhajantyanyanya manaso gyatva bhutadi avyayam.
O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible.
Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantasya dridhavrataha namasyantasya mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate.
Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion.
Jnana yatnena chapyan yajantyo mam upasate ekatvena prathakatvena bahuda visvato mukham.
Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form.
Aham kraturaham yagyam sadaham ahaushadam cha mantroham ahamevajyam agniraham hutam.
But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering.
Pitahamasya jagato mata dhata pitamaha Vedyam pavitram Onkaram rukshama yajurevacham.
I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also the Rig, the Sama, and the Yajna Vedas.
गतिर्भर्ता प्रभु साक्षी लियताम चरणम सुरहत दिवासम चरणम सुरहत प्रभवः प्रलयस्थानम निधानम विद अव्ययम.
I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seed.
तपाम्यहं वर्षः निग्रहं सृजामि च अमृतं चैवमृतुश्च सदसज्जाहमर्जुन.
O Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me.
त्रैविध्यामा सोमपा पुतपापा यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गन्ति प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यमासाद्यं सुरेन्द्रलोका अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देवभोगान्.
Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights.
एतं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं क्षिणे पुण्यं प्रत्यलोकं विशन्ति. एवं त्रयधर्ममनो प्रपन्ना गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते.
When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal plane again. Thus those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death.
अनन्यश्चिन्तयन्तु मां ये जनाः पयुर्पासते तेषां नित्ययुक्तानां योगक्षेमवहाम्यहम्.
But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have.
अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्तां प्रभुरेव च न तु मामभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेन तस्यवन्ति ते.
Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way.
यान्ति देवव्रतान् देवान् पितॄन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या मध्याजिनो विमाम्.
I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Those who worship the demigods will take birth. Among the demigods, those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth. Among such beings and those who worship me will live with me.
पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति तदहं भक्त्यो परहत् अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनाम्.
If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it.
यत् करोषि यदस्नासि यज्ञोददासि यत् तपस्यसि कौन्तेय तत् कुरुष्व मदर्पणम्.
Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me.
शुभाशुभफलैरेवं मोक्षसे शुभाशुभफलैरेवं मोक्षसे कर्मबन्धने संन्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तैनामुपैष्यसि.
In this way you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me, in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me.
अपि चेत् सुदुराचारो भजते मामनन्यभाक् साधुरेव शमन्तव्यो सम्यक् व्यवस्थितो हि सः.
I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him.
अपि चेत् सुदुराचारो भजते माम् अनन्यभाक् साधुरेव शमन्तव्यो सम्यक् व्यवस्थितो हि सः.
Even if one commits the most abominable action, It is, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination.
क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा सस्वक् शान्ति निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिदानेन मे भक्त्या प्रणश्यति.
He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes.
अहं हि पार्थव्यपात्रित्यं योगीषु पापयोनयः त्रयो वैश तथा शूद्रास्ते पियान्ति परां गतिम्.
O son of Priti, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vasya and Sudras, can attain the supreme destination.
किं पुनर्ब्राह्मणा पुण्या भक्त्या रादर्शय ततः अनित्यं सुखं लोकम् इमं प्राप्य भजस्व माम्.
How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary, miserable world, engage in loving service unto me.
मन्मनाम भक्तो मध्याशिमां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यस्य युक्तैव मात्मानमत्परायणः.
Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisance to me, and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
इदं श्रीमद्भगवद् गीता सुपनिषद्ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्ण अर्जुन संवादे भक्तियोगो नाम नवमो अध्यायः समाप्तः. श्रीकृष्णाय नमः. श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु. 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 अनादिनो देवः शङ्खचक्रगदाधरः अव्यया पुण्डरीकाक्षं प्रीतमोक्षप्रदो भवेत्. Voice from Radha Kaul. Ninth chapter, all the chapters talk about the souls and how we can live in this world and how we can during that time when you quit body, just simply by remembering Krishna, simply by remembering God, you are in this planet, you are in the role of God is there always with you, watching with you. Man manava bhakta madhyayimam namaskuru. How Krishna is saying to Arjun in this 9th chapter, you will read. And there's a few prayers. One more bhajans I'm going to sing and then after something like that. Okay. Yesterday I read the same verse from the 2nd chapter. That's why I had to go through that also. Navani grahanati naropparani tadha sharirani vihaya janani anyani sayanti navani dehi. For the soul there is neither the birth nor the death of any time. He has not come into the being, does not come into the being, and will not come into the being. He is unborn, eternal, everlasting, and tremendous. He is not in the body. As a person put a new garment, giving up the old ones, the soul similarly accepts a new material body, giving up the old one. The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapons, nor burned by fire, nor moisturized by water, nor withdrawn by wind. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. जगत में जीवन है दिन चार, शुक्र कृत कर हरि नाम सुमिर ले मानुष जन्म सुधार सत्य धर्म से करो कमाई भोगो सुखी संसार मात पिता गुरुजन की सेवा कीजो पर उपकार जगत में जीवन है दिन चार do all this stuff. It's very short life. There's no time anybody has to go anytime. That's the meaning of the bhajan. Jagat mein jeevan hai din chaar. Sukrita kar hari naam sumir le chant the holy name of God. पशु पक्षी नर सब जीवन में ईश्वर अंश निहार द्वेष भाव मन से विसरावे सबसे प्रेम व्यवहार जगत में जीवन है विचार always love your neighbors, your friends, your family, your friends. Always love yourself, always love your parents, mother, father. Also animals, पशु पक्षी सब जीवन में ईश्वर है अंश निहार God is always in everyone's heart. सकल जगत में आनंद बाहर पूर्ण ब्रह्म अपार सतचित आनंद रूप पहचानो कर सत्संग विचार जगत में जीवन है दिन चार यह संसार स्वप्न की माया ममता मोह निवार यह संसार स्वप्न की माया This material world is temporary ममता मोह निवार not to be attached to us ब्रह्मानंद तोड़ भव बंधन पाव मोक्ष द्वार जगत में जीवन है विचार जगत में जीवन है विचार सुकृत कर हरि नाम सुमिर ले मानुष जन्म सुधार जगत में जीवन है विचार ओम भगवते विष्णवे नमः श्री कृष्णाय नमः वासुदेवाय नमः गोविंदाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः ओम ब्रह्मा मुरारी पुराणकारी ब्रह्मा मुरारी पुराणलिंगम निर्मलभासदशोभितलिंगम जन्मगदुःखविनाशकलिंगम तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिंगम ओम अधेते गोत्रः प्रेतः just say her name. You just say her name. Radha. You just repeat her name. प्रत्युपरान्त शवस्तेः प्रेतो देवता एषः पिण्डोः हे भगवतेः त्वमेव रोमेभ्यः स्वाहा तुसेभ्यः स्वाहा लोहिताय स्वाहा मेदेभ्यः स्वाहा मातेभ्यः स्वाहा स्नायुभ्यः स्वाहा अस्थिभ्यः स्वाहा अद्याभ्यां स्वाहा रेतसे स्वाहा पायवे स्वाहा अयासाय स्वाहा प्रयासाय स्वाहा प्रयासाय स्वाहा विनाशाय स्वाहा उद्यासाय स्वाहा सते स्वाहा शोचते स्वाहा शोचमानाय स्वाहा शोकाय स्वाहा तप्यते स्वाहा तप्यमानाय स्वाहा तप्ताय स्वाहा धर्माय स्वाहा निकृतये स्वाहा प्रायश्चित्ते स्वाहा भीषजाय स्वाहा यमाय स्वाहा अंतकाय स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा ओम मृत्यवे स्वाहा ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा ब्रह्महत्याये स्वाहा विश्वेभ्यो देवेभ्यो स्वाहा ध्यावा पृथिव्याभ्यां स्वाहा कृत्वा सुकृतं कर्मं जानन्तमाप्यं जानन्तः मृत्युकालवंशं प्राप्यं न पञ्चत्वमागताः धर्मसमायुक्तः लोभमोहसमावृतः देह्यं सर्वगात्राणि दिव्यान् लोकान् स गच्छतु दिव्यान् लोकान् स गच्छतु यमद्वारे पते घोरे घोरा वैतरणी नदीं दूर्यकाम प्रयशामि कृष्णां वैतरणी च गां च Moksham dehi Jagannatha, Moksham dehi Janardana, Moksham denu Pradhanina Tri Vishnu, Priyatam cha, Tri Vishnu, Priyatam cha, Tri Vishnu, Priyatam cha. Om Asato Ma Satgamaye, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaye, Mrityur Ma Amritangamaya. From the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, whatever we got, giving back to water, back to fire, back to air. The body is maintained by 5 elements, 5 prana, pran, apan, vyan, udan, saman. 10 kind of the pranas there in the body, how they maintained by food. So much big science about this body and knowledge. Jnana Vijnana Sahitam. Yajagyatva Moksha Sarishubha. If you want to free from this material world, beautiful knowledge in the 9th chapter, just if we just read. Jnana Vijnana Sahitam, practical knowledge. Jnana means like knowledge, and practical. Vijnana means like practical knowledge, practical way you can understand, you can realize how we are in this world and how we can achieve the happiness and how we can happy way, how we can become free from this world and go back to home, back to God. Sri Krishna Govinda. Just doing Shanti Patan now. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Yo Shanti Antariksham Shanti Pratavi Shanti Apa Shanti Aushadaya Shanti Vanaspataya Shanti Vishvedeva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvegvam Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Revyo Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.
That was the next week in honor.
So that's for the service. That's the end of the service. Thanks.